Spin the wheel, truth unrolls. 360 fire burning holes. In the lies they stitch like seams. Pull the threads, unravel dreams. Eyes wide open, can't unsee. Chains they wrapped in secrecy. Freedom whispers loud and bold. Feel the heat, this truth ain't cold. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame. Sparks ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold. Cloaks in shadows, puppet strings. Whisper lies, the devil sings. But the rabbit digs too deep. Unveils secrets meant to keep. Eyes like daggers cut the dark. Blazing trails ignite the spark. We're the thunder in the storm. Breaking free from narrow norm. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame.
Rippin' Rabbit Hole is a community-driven radio. At times the community comments may reveal prejudices and other beliefs that we or our sponsors do not condone. Views or opinions expressed by the community, callers, or guests, are those of the individual speaking and do not represent the views or opinions of this site. Rippin' Common Sense content is intended for mature audiences only. Enjoy.
Ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold. Eyes like daggers cut the dark. Blazing trails ignite the spark. We're the thunder in the storm. Breaking free from their old norm. Tin Hat Thursday, light the flame. Sparks ignite, don't play the game. Rip it open, break the mold. Truth is fire, truth is gold.
Good evening and welcome to Tin Hat Thursday, and we're having some technical difficulties right off the bat. Am I being heard in the backstage? Can we get it there? We got a thumbs up, so we're being heard. Our audio is being heard, Red. I'm not sure why the music wasn't working. We'll try and get through that. Anyway, I am Screech Owl Scott,
And I'm Red.
and it is Thursday, August 27th, 2026. We are coming to you live. We are back in the perch tonight, Red, on the western shores of Lake Michigan, where we will be screaming 360 degrees of truth. We want to thank you for joining us on Tin Hat Thursday and hope that you will join us right here on Rippin' Common Sense Radio each and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you are listening on Rumble or on YouTube, we invite you to hop on over to rippinrabbithole.com and join the rest of Tin Hat Nation in the VIP Backstage Lounge. The Backstage Lounge is free and always will be. Go to rippinrabbithole.com. Click on the Backstage 24/7 Lounge in the taskbar. Scroll down until you see the Backstage Lounge and click on the big red Enter Now button. Allow the permissives, put in your name and join the fun. Just remember to keep yourself muted until the show ends. Listen to the show and then hang around for some spirited discussion with others. The Backstage Lounge is a great place to meet new friends and talk about anything that you want to. And we can speak from experience when we say that you will often find screech owls deep into the early AM hours. That is rippinrabbithole.com. rippinrabbithole.com. Well, Red, We started the show with some technical difficulties.
Are you surprised?
Am I surprised? No, and part of that might be because we went on the road and something is clearly something is messed up because the audio was going through to Rumble.
Yep.
We know that to be true, so I'm not sure why it wasn't being heard in the backstage. We'll try and rectify it, but I guess we're being heard, so.
Well, it was a long night, so, and a long day, actually.
And a long day, and I have a bellyache right now,
Yes, you do.
and I'm going to try and get through the next hour because I feel my stomach is just not doing well, Red.
Right.
Uh,
Well,
so
you need to start listening to your wife.
you're right. Anyway, we'll get through the hour.
One way or another.
So we went on the road last night for the first time ever where we took the show out of the perch.
Yes.
And
I thought it was fun. But
it was a lot of fun being there live at the Manitowoc County Patriot event with their very special guest, a friend of ours and a friend of the network,
Mr. Harry Waite.
And
Yep.
of course Harry brought with him some of the folks from Hot, Jim and Jay and Cindy, and I think in total there was, counting the Hot people, I think there were about 28. I counted people, 28
I
people
didn't count,
or so.
so I don't know.
Very interesting evening.
Yeah.
There were people, we did talk to some people who came with the specific idea of hearing from Harry.
Learning. Yeah,
And
learning
they wanted
about
to know more
what was going on.
more about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't get a chance to talk to him afterwards.
no, I didn't either. But there was one gentleman, unfortunately, a former board member of the county party here.
Oh, he was the former chair of the Manitowoc Republican Party.
Who just, kept with that same rhetoric, that
negativity.
You broke the law, you should be, whatever.
What really ticked me off is when he said he was whining about it. I've never once heard Harry whine about it. Not once.
Right, never. And he was clearly outnumbered, though.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, when he spoke, he was getting under the skin of a lot of people in the room.
Yeah, and in fact, he was actually sitting next to Mr. Jay Stone, which I thought was perfect.
Right, and Jay brought Jay brought the truth to him.
He brought the A game. Well, they all did.
I'm not sure that he left feeling any different than he did when he walked in, but he was clearly outnumbered.
Well, I was told that he left a little ticked off.
Right, but
because he kind of forgot the person he rode with. Left her there. But he came back and got her.
But, and it's good to have open dialogue like that where we have discussions and
just trying to educate people. And that's the problem. When you're stuck in that one mindset and you're not willing to hear other sides of it, that's when you're never going to wake people up to what's going on.
Right, he went into it with the idea that Harry broke the law and he should accept the punishment. And
end of story.
I'm not sure
that's his end of story. And not about, hey, Harry exposed a huge flaw in the system. He exposed how one way that they can steal our elections. I mean, there were so many other positive things that he could have taken out of it, but he chose not to.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because he was in a leadership position, and we see that all too often in our county chairs where they may think one thing. I do wish that more folks would have shown up.
Well, and I will say that I know that some friends of ours had told him way back in 2022 when this all started what happened. And he had that exact same mindset back then. And he was the chair of the party at that time.
And
now the vice chair was sitting right next to him, and she was a complete different mindset at that time. I didn't hear how she feels now, though.
Right. Well, according to Braden, she understands.
Right.
So there's hope, but it would have been nice to see the current chair there
No, I don't believe he was, Rob.
No, no, he absolutely was not.
No.
He is someone who's felt this way since day one, and like Red just said, uh,
Once you get that mindset.
we had some friends who sat down with him, and when he was the chair of the county party,
Mm-hmm.
and explained exactly what Harry had done and why he did it, and he was not open to hearing anything other than he broke the law.
But my thinking is if you don't actually commit the crime or do the act or whatever, and I'm not talking, like violent type acts because that's not proven a point in my opinion. I'm talking something like um non-violent. If if Harry wouldn't have done that, how are we ever supposed to get people to wake up to it? How are we supposed to get people to listen to, hey, this is what happens? But I mean, yeah, you can tell anybody any day long, but I have learned over the last how many years, it doesn't matter how many times you tell them, you can show them proof, like papers, websites, whatever the case is, but it still doesn't sink in that it's true. Now, in my opinion, if you do it and show them, it should sink in. But with him, obviously it did not. Yes, whistleblower Rob.
So, Red, overall, it was a nice evening. It would have been nice to it had the room been packed with standing room only, but it was an opportunity for 25 or 30 people to hear the truth and understand why Harry had done what he had done. It was a great night. We want to thank the Manitowoc County Patriots and Braden Meyer for inviting us over to bring that event live.
Oh, absolutely. I still enjoyed myself though. Um,
We did, and I look forward to being able to go live again. You know, we recognized that there were maybe some audio issues and that we'll have to work on for the next time. But all in all, it was just a really good evening. And look at we've got a campfire on a Thursday night,
I was
Red. I
just
don't know
gonna
if
say that.
you're seeing that.
Yep.
Uh, our friend RJ, who last week had the campfire going for AJ's show, fired up the logs uh, for tonight, and I think it was Harry who just put in the chat that the potluck was excellent, and it really was. There was a lot of good food. Everybody stepped up and brought a dish to pass, and I think everybody went home with a full belly.
Not me.
Not you. You didn't take.
No.
You were busy talking, right? You didn't take
Well,
the
there were
opportunity to
people that
eat.
came up and talked to us afterwards, and you always somehow can slip away and sneak out or whatever. So I seen you go up and grab some food. I did get a brat, and
It's that.
I that was
It's
about the
that.
only thing I had.
It's that ability I have to make myself look invisible.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the brat was good, but let's see. Um, RJ says that she had several people tell her that it's audio unable to hear on YouTube. Are you talking tonight or last night?
And if it was last night, we
Last
recognize that
night.
there may.
Yeah,
Thanks,
last night.
RJ. So we do recognize that there may have been some struggles with our audio, and we do apologize for that. It was our first time doing the show remotely like that, and we will definitely work through those issues before we uh, do it again. But all in all, it was a good night, and we even got some entertainment. Red. We went into
I
the
was just
lounge
going to
with some
talk
of the
about
people,
that actually.
some of the people that were there, and there were a group of I'm assuming they were construction workers who were staying at the hotel.
Well,
Uh,
we had a friend of the show that drove down from a ways away, and he was going to spend the night, and we actually met him this morning for a brunch. But we thought we'd go into the bar and have a drink with him and chat before we went home. And there was some construction workers, at least those ones were construction workers. There were several other people. Um, one of them actually told me a little story about elections, but that's not what we're talking about right now. And all of a sudden, they're like, two of them were arguing with each other, and then they start pushing each other. And I'm like, oh boy. So I went back over by Screech, and he's like, okay, let's get going. And just as he says that, all of a sudden some chairs are tipped over, and one almost hit me because I was like right there where they were pushing each other. And we ended up leaving, but they were like, take it outside. Let's take it outside. So we left, but we learned today that Keeter went back in because he thought his keys were still on the bar. I don't know. Did he ever find his keys? Or, well, he said he stayed for a little bit because they started going at it again after we left. So it was quite the night. But the one
Yeah,
gentleman, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say the beer muscles were on big display last night.
Oh, absolutely. And we're getting an echo here, and I know why. But I was when all that started, I was talking to another gentleman, and I don't remember even how the conversation got started, but he believes we should be showing our IDs to vote. And I said, well, absolutely. And I wish I could remember the town now. I didn't write it down, and you know my memory. But he said there's a town up in Marinette County that has a population, and this is back in 2020, a population approximately 1,400 to 1,800 people. But all of a sudden, there was busloads of people coming in to vote. And I believe he said it was his grandmother had said, well, you can't vote because you're not, a resident and whatnot. Well, it turns out that they say that, yes, we are residents because we are students. But these students were bussed in. And they ended up with, I thought he said like 20,000 votes. So I ended up giving him a hot government card because I said, this is something that you need to get to hot government.
And it would have to be verified because
Oh, yeah.
that seems pretty extreme to me.
Well,
A town of 1,400
exactly.
that 20,000 votes would
Exactly.
appear. I mean, that would be
But he
very,
did
very.
say that if it was his grandma, maybe it was his mom, but I think it was his grandma, did report it to the clerk in Marinette County, and nothing happened. Surprise, surprise.
Well,
So,
and I'm sure that it's unfortunate that you didn't recall the name of the
well,
city
that's
because we
when,
could have looked at the vote totals to find out if
right, but that's when those guys were pushing each
when
other
the,
and we just quick left. Otherwise, I would have wrote things down. Instead, I just quick gave him a card and said, get a hold of Hot. And he said he was going to absolutely do that because it really is bothering him to this day.
well,
So hopefully he does.
if the chairs wouldn't have started flying, maybe
Exactly.
we would have had that information. But I felt it was best for us to leave before it escalated beyond what it already was. And it looks like Keeter's in the backstage. He's probably on his way home right now because Keeter was out golfing today.
Yes. And RJ says, I enjoyed when you pushed the dissenter firmly, Harry.
And
Absolutely.
Harry did, and Jay did. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that my one of my favorite moments last night was when that gentleman was arguing, and at one point Jay then reminded him of some case that he had won, and I don't remember which case it was.
Yep.
And he looked directly at him and he said, so take that.
Yep.
And that was just classic, and I don't know if that came through, but
Cater just got home. Yeah, and exactly. I mean, this is what I was trying to say by, we needed to remind this person that, and I don't know if it came out, maybe it did and I missed it, that Jay's not even an attorney.
no,
And he was telling him about his cases and whatnot right before he said, take that. But oh, yep, RJ said that it was funny. She heard it.
Okay.
But you don't need to be an attorney in order to win these cases if you know the laws, which Jay knows the laws. So, you know, the point that I think Jay was trying to hammer was Harry did not get his due process. And so you're telling me that no matter if you're guilty or not, just as long as you were found guilty by a jury of your peers, no matter how they got to that point, then it's okay. No, it's not. Because I've known murderers, well, not personally, obviously, but I've seen cases where there's murderers that get off on smaller technicalities than this, and they never get recharged. So the person just was not getting it, in my opinion.
No, he wasn't, and it was just it was nice to see, Harry held firm in his beliefs,
Hmm.
uh,
I think he was outnumbered in that
and
room.
Jay and Jim came to his defense.
Hmm. Well,
When
amongst others.
well, yeah, there were others in the room, not
That's
just
what
the
I mean
hot people,
by
but
that
uh,
gentleman was, I think, a little outnumbered.
well, clearly it was like 28-1,
Yep.
I think.
Well, even the one with that strong accent, I can't remember where he's from, but even he said, yeah, you broke the law. But, so, how are we supposed to know about this kind of stuff without knowing what you did?
And he was one of them that came there with the intent of learning more about
Right.
Harry, meeting Harry, and
Yep.
finding out, hearing it from Harry.
Yep.
And we did speak to him after the event. He hung around he and his wife both
Okay.
hung around for a while after the event. Uh, anyway, it was a great event, and not only do we want to thank Braden, but we want to thank Harry and the hot team for bringing this show to East Central Wisconsin,
Yep.
so that the people can be educated. And I know that Harry's going to be coming to the Green Bay area for an event, and I don't know the date of it,
It's
but
in
it's
September,
September.
but
We'll
that's all I
we'll
know.
we'll get it out so that people, if you're in the Green Bay area,
No, Amanda wasn't able to make it, Nan.
but it was
The 17th, September 17th. Thank you, Harry.
and that I think is the NEW Patriots. Uh, we'll get the details on that one so that you can attend. I'm sure that Red and I will attend that one as well.
If we're allowed, because we have to speak with the people putting it on first.
Well, and we may not cover it live, but
Oh,
I'm saying we will
yeah.
be at the event either way.
Excuse me.
If it's not on a show night, we will definitely be there anyway. But in any event, Harry, thank you for taking your
It'll be on a tin hat
and
Thursday.
one of the things that Harry talked about in the beginning, and we'll move into tonight's show here, but I can't help but to talk about this. One of the things that Harry talked about was one of the goals of HOT. They can't be everywhere. They're located out of southern Wisconsin.
They can't fight everybody else's fight
And
and
one of
their
their
own.
goals is to help set up groups like the Manitowoc County Patriots to handle things in their own backyard.
Yep.
And
Clean up your own backyard.
That's really the goal of HOT, is to help groups around the state
Mm-hmm.
become kind of what HOT is.
Right.
And be able to handle these things. And I put the bug hard in Braden's ear today.
Yeah,
because
you
we
did.
had the opportunity to Braden was with us today for a part of the day, and I said, you're a smart young fella, and maybe you should hone up on law a little bit, because you look at what Jay Stone, the pro se Jay, and the cases where he's taken on Department of Justice attorneys, and Braden is someone who has that ability.
Absolutely, because he's called out people on statutes and stuff like that before, and
he's
showed
smart.
them, hey, no, you can't do this, because
he's definitely smart enough that if he really hones in on the law, he is someone who right here in our backyard could kind of take on that role of a pro se Jay, and walk into a courtroom, and he's got the right demeanor to be able to do it. So anyway,
we're gonna run out of time, so let's move on.
So folks, at a time when we're hearing about, I mean, let's face it, I looked at some of the hot topics that every newspaper and every outlet is covering, and some of them, I'm going to name just a few before we get into the crazy stuff, Red.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and I'm just going to read the titles. We're not going to talk about them, but Trump renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America. I mean, that's all over the news.
Yep, that
Uh,
was made official apparently
New
today.
mail-in voting restrictions take effect as states file lawsuits.
Yep, there was 24 states that are in that lawsuit right now, and Letitia James just joined it. I believe it said today.
The U.S.-Iran conflict reaches a 6-month mark. Millions face severe storms, flooding, and possible tornadoes. The federal debt crossed the 40 trillion mark.
You know, the federal deficit, like you said, I was looking at the U.S. debt clock yesterday, and yeah, it did cross over. But if you look at the bottom of the page, it has a different total that actually is going up, and I got to figure out what that other total is because it looks kind of interesting how they can go up, where the other one or up on the plus side versus the minus side, I should say.
Okay, well, I don't know. I guess you're going to have to dive into that, Red. Jobless claims decline. ICE arrests surge in Democratic-led states. Those are just legal battles continue
hang on.
over removing Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook.
Rob is asking 24 states for what? They're the mail-in ballots. They're suing. Go back to your mail-in ballots.
It's right here. Red.
Okay. So read what the new restrictions are.
I don't know what this doesn't say what the restrictions are.
Okay. Well, what I thought that they did because it says whatever. But anyway, 24 states have signed on to stop the new mail-in voting restrictions is what I was saying earlier. So we'll see what court's going to uphold that to what the new restrictions are versus these 24 states that filed this lawsuit, if it's going to roll it back to the current system or the current way they do things.
Anyway, those were the ones that I just listed. Those are the top stories that are being seen in newspapers across the country right now in the last week. And I only looked back 1 week. And what we wanted to do tonight was just look at some of the lesser known articles that are appearing.
Like these ones?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the ones that you found, the ones that I found. And some of these are just that one is really quite crazy.
Well, like the first one that I seen was squid spill closes a Rhode Island intersection for 8 hours. It was calamari catastrophe on a Rhode Island road when an overturned tractor trailer spilled a substantial portion of squid into traffic. I'm like, wow.
And
Can you imagine?
That's not one that's hitting the news hard and heavy, but in what state was that in?
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Rhode Island. It was in all the little newspapers in Rhode Island.
And what one did you have?
Well, now I can't.
Oh,
find
you did
it.
Okay.
I can't. I had a lot of animal ones that I found, Red. A lot of them.
Well, like Wisconsin, very own Wisconsin.
This was a Guinness Book, I think.
I believe so.
Go ahead.
Wisconsin a cat was born with a record-breaking 29 toes.
And it's funny, we live in Wisconsin, and I didn't hear about that. That cat had.
I mean, technically, we're not looking for stuff like that either.
No, but well, you're right. But I mean, it didn't pop up on my news feed that this cat was born with 29 toes.
I can't even imagine a cat with 29 toes.
Now, this one I thought was pretty cool because we talked about flock cameras not too long ago, and I will say I'm going to add right now. This is not crazy news, but I just saw it that the flock cameras
Where?
in Sheboygan have been covered.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the Sheboygan mayor and city council caved to the people who were stomping their feet about the flock cameras, and
Well,
they've covered them all up now.
the sheriff was he discovered that the cameras were being misused, and that's why they were
Surprise,
covered.
surprise, they're being used all over the
Right.
place. We just had a case in Menasha, but I thought this is related to
Oh, wait. Fox on the Run. Kangaroos escaped transport off I-39 this last week in
and
Wisconsin.
I did hear about that one.
Really? I didn't hear
But
about that one.
now I didn't I don't have that one printed off. I did hear about that happening now, and maybe Fox on the Run can confirm this because I thought those kangaroos were either hit by traffic, but I heard they did not survive. I don't know if that's true. Uh, this one I thought was funny that uh, regarding flock cameras read someone dressed as Darth Vader appeared before the San Diego City Council and spoke in support of the city's controversial flock license plate reading cameras. Now he did this. This was all sarcasm, but it was.
Yeah. What was it?
I'm sorry, I lost my place.
Oh, Wetzel said 2 died, 1 is missing. Kangaroo.
The kangaroos. Okay, so there were. It's unfortunate that two uh, kangaroos.
You were saying
Yeah,
about
I'm looking for a different page here, Red, because I had something else written down. But go ahead. What you have anything else, Red?
yeah, a Virginia woman wins $1,727,474 lottery prize on her lunch break. Let's see. She picked up her phone during her lunch break and won the $1 million over $1 million prize from an online lottery game. The Arlington woman told the Virginia lottery officials she was on her lunch break at work when she decided to play the Monopoly Super Spin game online, and she was shocked when she won the $1,727 and oh, wait, I said that wrong. $1,727,474.
So she won a lot of money playing Monopoly.
Yeah, a online game that apparently you must download it from, the app. What was that? Oh, break.
There's a break.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that they may not be hearing the music in the background because I'm not sure what's going on there, but we're hearing it, so we're just going to fall into our break, Red. We don't have to talk about the Manitowoc County Patriot meeting because that's yesterday, but
Yep.
we can tell you that we do this Sunday, and I don't have the address. Maybe if I don't know if I can bring it up on my phone quick enough. We had the chicken burn, and it's like the 57th annual or the 60th annual, and Red's gonna bring up the address so we have it for you. The chicken burn this Sunday in. Do you have an address there?
It's at 11324 West Potter, as in Potter Road in Wauwatosa.
And they've got, and it's the 58th annual chicken burn. It's Sunday, August 30th from 1 to 4 p.m. Representative Lindy Brill, who appeared on one of our shows before she became, well, I think after too.
She did too.
She is the MC of the event, but they're going to have some of the featured speakers. We have Regular Joe. Everybody knows Regular Joe, and then there's a whole bunch of candidates.
Scarlett Johnson from Moms for Liberty. Other speakers, Amy Rose Murphy, Chris Schaefer, David Barnum, Mike Morgan, Dan
Degner.
Thank you. Andre Jacques, Tim Rogers, Jay Schrader, and Braden Meyer will speak as well.
That Braden's gonna have
and they had a couple more.
To speak. Yeah, there's others.
I don't have them on the list.
I'm not sure if Harry's speaking or not. I thought I saw one. I thought I saw Bill Savage.
What happens at the chicken burn? Chicken burn, you listen to a bunch of music?
They
You
have
talk to
a
a bunch of you listen to a bunch of speakers, you kind of mingle. It's,
and there'll be a few vendors there
Yep.
or organizations who are selling some of their stuff. It's a fun event. It takes place at Bob Donald, I'm not sure the pronunciation, Bob Donald's house. Again, the 57th or 58th annual. That's incredible that this thing's been going on that long.
Yep, 58th annual.
And they do ask you can bring a dish to pass if you want.
They always have a ton of food. And it's amazing
So it's
food.
an opportunity to network with some patriots and we the people.
Will Yardbird be there?
Chicken. Well, chicken. Yardbird is a chicken.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure there will be chicken. But anyway, so that is coming up this Sunday from 1 to 4.
Yep. So if you're not doing anything, if you don't already have plans, consider going down to the 58th annual chicken burn.
Yes.
This Sunday, but more importantly, we have to talk about the Liberty Summit, Red.
Absolutely.
That's coming up September 25th and 26th. Registration is open.
Yes.
They are selling tickets, so I don't know.
And the rooms are booking up quick as well.
I don't know what the capacity is, but once they reach it, you're not going to be able to register any longer. So if you want to attend the second annual
Liberty
Summit, you're going to want to get your registration in.
Yeah, definitely register as quickly as possible. And you can go do that by going to hotgovernment.com/summit. And you can, there's 3 different levels that you can purchase tickets for. You can do the afternoon session, which includes your box lunch.
That would be the morning and the afternoon session.
Yes, morning and afternoon.
From 9 until the break goes for dinner.
Yep, when they switch everything over for the evening. And then if you want to do the VIP, or if you want to purchase a table and go in on it with 8 or 7 of your friends, because the table holds 8, then you will stay all day. You get your box lunch and you get the dinner as well. And the dinner is amazing. And then you get to hear the keynote speakers. And as always, there's the night before on Friday, where it's like a meet and greet, mingle, get to know.
Socializing.
Yeah, socialize.
And Friday night, there, I'm sure because we're in election year and we're like a month or 6 weeks from election, there will be a lot of candidates who will be there on Friday night. I would assume, wanting to mingle.
Absolutely.
But it's a really good event. Our very own AJ, the Rippin' Rabbit, will be presenting along with. I know we left it over there because
Peter Berniger is going to be presenting twice.
And AJ the Rippin' Rabbit.
Dan Eastman.
And
many others. I don't have the list in front of me.
So you can see the list.
If you go to hotgovernment.com/summit.
And we'll be there, Red. Hope to see everybody there.
Absolutely. We met some new people there last year. Let's meet some more new people this year.
Absolutely. And hopefully we will be at capacity. Keter's giving a thumbs up to something I can't see.
Yeah, I can't. Oh, Friday is the best ever.
Friday is the best ever?
Yeah, that's what Fox on the Run says. Gypsy Girl is coming with her. But yeah, there is going to be karaoke apparently this year on Friday night. I know we're not going to be staying up too terribly late that night because we have to get up early the next morning. But once we find out that the Liberty Summit is sold out, we're going to have to start finding a song for Mr. Screech Owl Scott to sing, because he's planning on doing karaoke once everybody purchases their ticket and they're sold out.
Okay, but we're not going to have to find a song. Screech will find a song, Red. Not, because I don't want someone else choosing for me what I'm going to sing.
I meant we as in me and you. But then
okay.
again, Yeah, I'll leave that all up to you. You're the one that's got to do it. I'm not. Anyway, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Or, well, not, we won't be back. Today's Thursday. Duh. Tomorrow night is AJ the Rippin' Rabbit, as always, at 8 p.m. Central. And then Sundays are backstage only, two or more gathering, and we are in the Book of John, and we're close to being done with John, so I'm not sure where we're gonna go after that, but I'm sure it's gonna be amazing, just like the last, two books that we have discussed back here. And if you have not experienced like a Bible study, you definitely need to come back because it is simply amazing. And I personally have learned so much more back here than I ever did in a brick and mortar church. But that's just me.
I agree, Red. Uh, Red, as you were finishing up there during the break, I was looking at my list, and not all the weird stories come out of the U.S. though, because there was one in Germany. Uh, Two motorists in northern Germany attempted to secure a loose donkey named Freddie. Freddie reportedly jumped into their van and began kicking and biting. A woman who stopped to assist was hospitalized while the two motorists suffered two minor injuries. The owner, t- Freddie's owner, eventually arrived and brought Freddie under control. So there we go. A donkey got into a car and created some havoc and caused some injuries.
Well, if you're speaking about um, donkeys, they're in Los Angeles. A coyote chased a bear away from an LA home. A Los Angeles man's home security camera captured an unusual confrontation between a bear and a mother coyote. The homeowner got a notification from his security camera about 2:30 a.m. and was shocked when he looked at the footage from outside his Tarzania home, and I probably pronounced that wrong, so I apologize. The camera recorded as a bear that approached the stone pathway to his driveway was stopped in its tracks by a coyote. So who knew? Oh, haha, Rob. But who knew that a coyote would almost basically protect the homeowner from a bear without knowing probably that they're protecting the home?
Probably didn't even know that, did they, Red?
No.
And we had a new Guinness World Record. A man drove a motorized wooden shoe faster than 70 miles per hour. That was Dutch television presenter Klaas van Kroestum. Reportedly climbed aboard an enormous motorized clog and drove it more than 70 miles per hour, setting a Guinness World Record for the fastest motorized clog.
I seen that
A
too, but I
large,
thought,
a
well,
large wooden shoe transformed into a high-speed vehicle. So we had another Guinness record. I don't think the cat. I don't. Well, I do think that the 29-toed cat was also a Guinness record.
and where was the car one or the shoe?
The the clog that was in. It was a Dutch television producer. So one of
Okay.
the. I'm not sure what country it was,
Okay.
but one of those countries where they wear wooden shoes.
And then back in Los Angeles, a truck spilled cheese ball containers onto California highways or the highway. Traffic on Los Angeles area freeway faced a salty obstacle when a truck lost a pallet of cheese ball containers onto the highway. The California Highway Patrol confirmed that the pickup truck lost 120 containers of cheese balls on the 105 freeway in Linwood shortly after 5 p.m. on Tuesday. And video from the scene showed the cheese balls were littering the westbound lanes, and the CHIPS officials said extra traffic delays were caused because drivers stopped on the freeway to find and retrieve the undamaged cheese ball containers.
So there were actually chips and cheese balls on the highway then,
Yes,
right?
there were. I was gonna say that's what I thought. Was it those big, like yeah, those kind of big gallon ones, and they're like the little cheese puff cheese balls. Do you have another one, Screech?
Let's see, I do. We had the competitive finger wrestlers battle for the German championship. So another one out of Germany. Competitors gathered in Bavaria for the German finger wrestling championship. In this traditional sport, two opponents hooked their middle fingers through an attempt to pull one another across a table. Uh, the contest can be surprisingly physical, and competitors specifically train their fingers for the event. So they had finger wrestling tournament in Germany was the big news in that German town, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce it.
In the Germany town?
I said I'm not going to try to pronounce the name of the city in Germany where the finger wrestling took place, but it was in Germany.
Bavaria? Oh, that one. Okay. Because that was my last story as well. Do you have another story?
I've got all kinds of stories. Uh, from let's see, this would be residents of Lixiard in Cornwall recorded a wallaby hopping through town. Wallabies are native to Australia and surrounding islands, escaped, so, although small escaped or established populations have occasionally been reported in Britain. Uh, so in this was in Cornwall, a wallaby was spotted wandering through the English town. And here's one that now I guess if you just read the headline that California experiences swarms of little fighter jets, it might be alarming to some people, thinking that there were military fighter planes flying overhead, but it was actually large swarms of dragonflies have appeared around California. Boy, a lot happening in California. Maybe they were going after the cheese balls, Red.
They
Uh,
probably were.
with one observer estimating approximately 100 flying together. Experts believe unusually warm spring rains created favorable conditions. The insects are beneficial predators that consume mosquitoes, flies, and moths. Uh, and one expert compared them to tiny fighter jets. So, California, we have cheese balls and coyotes chasing bear and swarms of little fighter jet dragonflies.
Lots of things going on over in California, huh?
I think it's all that leftist stuff that happens over there. It's that we get weird stories out of California.
Which does not surprise me. Oh, I was
Now,
looking
now
for the.
this one,
Whoops. Keep going.
this one might actually be big news because this was, but of course we never heard about this. But uh, in Austria, this is like taking over their news. Thieves reportedly stole 210 gold-colored Mozart statuettes from an anniversary display in Salzburg, Austria. The miniature figures were part of a public tribute connected to Mozart's legacy. Uh, Authorities are investigating how such a large collection disappeared.
I did see that one. And I also, whoops, I just found this one. Main Street in De Pere reopens after, De Pere, Wisconsin, reopens after crews free a truck stuck under a railroad bridge. And I'm looking at the pictures right now, and I used to live not too far from that bridge, so That's not a very tall bridge whatsoever. But whoops. The truck loaded with bales of hay was stuck underneath the railroad bridge into Pier. A portion of Main Street on the city's west side was closed to traffic briefly Wednesday while crews worked to free the truck. Yeah, that's definitely not a very big bridge at all. Where's
So how long was the truck stuck? Did it say how long it was stuck, Red?
let me see. Hang on. In the actual article, it does not state it. I'm not going to turn on the video. So it looked like it was there for a little while anyway. Obviously. No, it was not a Swift driver. It had a bunch of bales of hay. I can't see the side of the truck though.
Interesting. Well, here's another one. TSA found 5 Civil War era cannonballs wrapped in paper towels inside a checked suitcase in Alabama. Authorities said a juvenile had taken them from Fort Morgan and placed them in his grandmother's bag without her knowledge. Uh, they're not going to file any charges for grandma trying to smuggle on the cannonballs onto a flight, but that sounds like some,
Cannonballs onto a flight.
well, the grandson had put them in her luggage.
Wow. Nice grandson. Gee, Grandma, do you think this will work?
Here's one. This is something that I would do. I probably have one somewhere. Heard a commercial today for a mattress that was built for astronauts.
I haven't seen that one, Nan.
That's interesting.
That would be interesting to look up to find out what that's about.
When they go to the moon, when they go to the moon, Red.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. What's this? A gigantic bunnies light up UW Green Bay campus in more ways than one. Oh, look at them. What message does Amanda oh shoot, Paras oh, that's not the right article. I hate these articles. They're big, bright, white, one perhaps a little overbearing and ready to blow up your social media feeds. We're talking about 4 enormous inflatable bunnies that make up the art display called Intrude, which will be on display at the UW Green Bay campus in front of the Widener Center through September 13th.
So we'll have to get over and check out the inflatable bunny display. That seems like an odd display.
It says the bunnies are so fun and they're great and they're in a fun picture. It's a fun picture to take a picture of, apparently. So here's the inflatable bunnies. Why bunnies?
Cute.
It doesn't say why, but
I don't know. But here's another one. This one's out of Australia. Red. There was a library book that was returned 150 years late. So someone dug up looking through something, they found a book that had never been returned to the library, but it was finally returned 150 years late. And they are not going to assess the fee because the person who turned the book in was not the person who checked the book out, apparently 150 years ago. But had they stuck to their fine, it would have been $5,475
for a book. You know what? Just pay for a new book.
And we've talked about AI and we've talked about robots, and I'm a little leery of some of this stuff. Not AI. I do play with AI a little bit, Red.
Yes.
But the whole robot thing creeps me out. I don't know if you saw this one, Red, earlier in the week in China. They had the robots were running race, and those damn things can really run, and they're kind of creepy looking.
They are.
But a rural New York district paused plans to deploy Sally, a stationary human-like AI robot, following concerns about student privacy and the manufacturer's corporate connection to an adult robot company. The district says Sally was intended as a technology and tutoring platform, not a replacement for teachers, but they put a pause on Sally.
So they named the robot Sally. Did the
Yeah.
other robots have a name?
I don't know.
Well, that'd be interesting to find out if they did.
Now, so this is out of Fox 11 in Albany, Georgia. This was big news here. Police posted a surveillance footage seeking a man who had picked up $30 dropped inside of the Walmart, who didn't turn it in. They plastered the video all over the news, and he subsequently returned the money, and the owner dropped the complaint. I'm not sure what the complaint would be if you picked up $30 that you found. I didn't realize that was anything that you could register a complaint about.
People will complain about just about anything nowadays, it seems like.
And just the other day, Spanish revelers hurled tons of overripe tomatoes during the La Tomatina festival, and I forget how many tons. I read that earlier and I can't find it right, but it was tons, literally tons of tomatoes that they were throwing.
And then you have in Colorado, a bear breaks into a Colorado home and starts a kitchen fire. You don't need people starting them, or I should say, you don't need animals starting them when people do that by themselves. Firefighters in Colorado were called to a home where a bear broke it through the door, tore apart the inside of the house, and then started a fire in the kitchen. Were they trying to get rid of evidence, I wonder?
Maybe. Well, Red, my belly survived. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to hang around in the backstage because I have such an upset stomach right now.
Wetzel says, "Smoke the bear."
Smoke the bear. Smokey the bear. There we go. I'm just glad I made it through the hour, Red, without losing my lunch.
Say that again?
My stomach hurts really
Oh.
bad. I'm in serious pain. I'm glad the music started because I need to take some Pepto or something.
Well,
The little
you
pink
need to
stuff.
listen to your wife.
I know.
Because I said no eggs. For whatever reason, eggs don't.
Just don't sit with us these
No.
days. And my stomach hurts so bad right now.
So tomorrow night, AJ the Rippin' Rabbit will be live at 8 p.m. Central. I don't know his topic, but he will be here tomorrow night. Sunday is Two or More Gathering in the backstage only. It's not broadcast. Or recorded. So 10:30 in the morning, Central Standard Time. Hop on back into the backstage and learn. It's like more of a Bible study. And I tell you, it's been pretty amazing because each week it pertains to something different in what's going on in today's world. So I'm looking forward to seeing where John takes us next.
The last 2 weeks were very powerful for me, and I left our Bible study with just a incredible feeling.
Absolutely.
It was very powerful the last 2 weeks for me.
And then we'll be back next Wednesday and Thursday.
And we'll be back next Wednesday for sure. With We the People Wednesday, we'll return to our normal format, Red, next week, where people will have the opportunity to talk.
Yes.
And I think that's about it, right, Red? So we're going to stop.
Don't forget, go to hotgovernment.com/summit and register for your tickets and your hotel room.
Do that right now.
Book them now before they are sold out.
We're going to stop wasting people's time because we
have a republic to save.
Have a good night, folks.